Hey everyone, TimaeuSS, and welcome to another NIKKE video. Well, I'm honestly a bit surprised because, as you can see, this is a new post pinned by the admins of the subreddit for NIKKE. And it's with regards to the gameplay kit and the performance of Redhood. Okay, they said that there's so much discussion at the moment and lots of content creators, I myself included, posting a lot of videos, so they decided to keep this into, I would say, a mega thread, and they have already informed the devs about how some of the community feels about the performance of Redhood, and they'll feed this back. Now, if we take a look at the main Discord, okay, this post in the feedback section is one of, if not the top most commented post of all time in NIKKE history, and it turns out, yes, it is Redhood. Almost 14,000 comments on this, and honestly, it's I'm shocked. I'm very shocked because I didn't expect the anniversary pilgrim unit to gather such controversy, basically. And yes, it all boils down to, I would think, her gameplay that was initially revealed versus what the performance is like now. But I really want to make it clear, okay? If you saw the previous videos, okay, I was extremely hyped. I was super hyped about Redhood. And after testing and in comparison to JP livestream, we found her to be slightly different. But I still want to stress that the livestream Redhood was not the final product. They always say that what you see here is a work in progress, and it's not what we'll get. Right, so it's not confirmed that we'll get the same Redhood. But I think a lot of people, I myself included, were super hyped when we saw the 1.84 million core hit damage from the level 200 sync, and perhaps set our expectations really high. And even when I went through the skills, right, this 27 case, this is basically the bane of Redhood's existence at the moment. Okay, change the weapon type in use, and the damage is 27.8% of the final hit. This, it completely flew over my head, and that's what caused, I would say, the Redhood outcry at the current moment. Now, again, I want to say I personally think Redhood is still a very good unit, especially if you're a new player. You can see I've limit broken her. Okay, she's max MLB. Alright, max limit broken, overload gear. I've even refreshed to get like charge speed attack, and even some one line of ammo capacity, element damage, whatnot. So I've maxed her out, right? Skill 10 to 10, and I absolutely love her. Okay, I went through the event lore yesterday with chat on the live stream, and she's honestly so good. I love her character, I love her as a unit. And although her performance is not like the live stream one, I think that's completely okay with me. Alright, I would love her to be buffed as well, but honestly, not every unit has to power creep. But I think most people expected some form of peak performance from her, from what we've seen so far, the information that was released prior, and also she is the anniversary pilgrim unit with a lore that has her placed basically at the top of power rankings, right? So I could see where people are coming from, right? I could see it, but it's very interesting to see how this is essentially going to impact people's take on her. Now, if we look at some of the suggestions given, right, I think I also have a couple of ways I think that we would balance, quote-unquote balance, or make her slightly better. Now, first of all, we can see some suggestions like make the burst 1 20 seconds. I think that would be a bit personally, I think that'd be a bit too OP, because if it's 20 seconds, then she will just be relegated to a burst 1, right? Replacing, for example, litter in some of the cases in super aggressive comps. You're buffing more than litter, and you have the flexibility of other burst. And I think the most insane part is she can basically burst 3 the entire time, every time. So that enables a lot of shenanigans. What I do like though, okay, what I do like though is this, okay, and that's what I talked about in my previous videos. If the bursts, they all have separate cooldowns, and it's still 40 seconds, right? I think that would make it a very cool mechanic, because the original intent in my previous early videos, when I didn't realize, okay, that the burst resets, see, cooldown resets once per battle, is that if the burst cooldowns are separate, you can essentially make all of the other 40-second burst 1s and burst 2s viable by just slotting Redhood. Because you can alternate between the burst 1s with the Redhood and then burst 3, and you can burst with Redhood as well, and doesn't impact the rotation. It makes her super versatile, okay, and we can, I think, forgo some of the damage that she loses in comparison by having that versatility. I think that will be absolutely amazing, right? The other discussion I've seen is that, and the one that I kind of like, is if we take her and have her the original build that was showcased in the live stream, right? Because in the live stream, when we quickly take a look at the math, okay, Redhood right now with the skill 3 at max level 10, the 27.8 damage is what's hurting her. But in the live stream, it was actually around 69.04, which is their sniper rifle multiplier. Of course, we did fire a lot less, but the damage is way more. The damage is way more. And I know some of you guys that saw my video said, you know what, if it's double the fire rate and you're doing nearly half the damage, isn't that the same? It's not, because we saw in the showcase that Redhood did not have max skill, right? Because post B1, I was already doing 400k, whereas the showcase was doing 300k. So I was like 20% higher in B2, which means I should be doing way more 2 times what's showcased in the live stream, if that makes sense. So that is one other way to fix her, or quote unquote balance her, is that have the live stream version, even if it's shooting a bit slower, we at least have that damage, right? So Redhood should see a 30 to 40% damage boost overall, if that's the version that we get. So I mean, just looking at some of the comments, I don't think it's Summer Neon all over again, okay? In the sense that Summer Neon, despite the buff, she's not really used. Redhood will definitely see gameplay in Union Raid and Solo Raid, even at the second and third teams. Because once you have units, enemies that have cores or parts that are not destructible and are clumped close together, Redhood's AoE pierce, especially it's because it's permanent and it will be AoE, it's going to do insane amounts of damage. And I want to say that the next Union Raid, which is going to be Ultra, I believe, sorry, Solo Raid, which is going to be Ultra, we will see Redhood's insane amounts of damage, okay? She's going to top the charts just because how the boss is going to be extremely good, especially if it's Redhood with elemental damage. You're really good against the boss in terms of advantage, and you're going to do multi-pierce. Honestly, I think Redhood will be like top 1 or 2 DPS on that boss. With that said, you know, do we still need a buff, need a fix to bring her to the Pilgrim Anniversary level? I think that's up to the players to decide. You know, I think people are giving feedback, and you can see enough to trigger almost, I mean, I haven't seen this, but enough to trigger a pinned message from the subreddit. I mean, I get that in the feedback here, we've received a message, right? Which is crazy. The community manager came in and said that they'll feedback to the devs, but now Reddit, the subreddit as well. So honestly, we'll have to see how this goes. And as much as I love Redhood, and I have no regrets, you know, making her max limit break fully skilled, I do see where people are coming from with regards to the balance. So all in all, if you're a new player, this shouldn't affect you very much. If you get her, congratulations. Even if you reroll her, I think that's still a very decent choice, because early to mid game with her, without overload gear, she's going to outperform a ton of the other units that are available. Okay, so I think she's still a fantastic unit, perhaps just not at the level that we were expecting her to perform. But overall, I mean, I just want to get this behind us, you know, like whether the devs acknowledge this or not. And I just want to look at the anniversary. Yesterday we did a live stream for the story. I just want to enjoy the anniversary because it's supposed to be a happy time, despite how sad the story has been for the event. Man, Shift Up is punching us again in the gut with the sad story. Anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here, and we'll continue following this up. Hopefully we get some updates, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.